What's going on, guys? Tony Maritato here, licensed physical therapist. And I had a couple questions come in from the Total Knee Replacement Support Group for Kind People on Facebook, asking specifically about pickleball drills to get ready to go back to playing the game. And so while I am certainly no pickleball expert, there's a couple things that I want to share with you, kind of my 4 favorite drills to get you ready really to build confidence to make sure that your knees, your new knee, can handle the agility that you need. So what's nice about pickleball is when you're going back to playing the sport, once you've been cleared by your surgeon and your physical therapist, it's a relatively small court. You're playing 2 people on a side. There's not a lot of ground to cover. So we want to talk about deceleration, controlling your deceleration. We want to talk about reactive training, and we just want to build confidence in moving around. So on the floor, you can see this little duct tape agility ladder. It's a great little tool if you have tiles in your kitchen, if you have any kind of lines to indicate, forward, back, side to side. Oftentimes, you can even use the lines on the pickleball court to kind of help you with this. But basically, what we want to do is we want to look at controlled lateral movement before you get back to moving around on the court. So, real simply, I stand outside of the line. I step into the box or over the line and I come back. This is a slow, controlled motion. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that the knee replacement has the lateral stability to control the action of this motion. I like to recommend my clients start with this comfortable step, side to back. Then what we might do is we might do a crossover step, side to back. We can go in front of the surgical leg. We can go behind the surgical leg. And then usually I'm going to have my clients turn around. So now the surgical leg is the one stepping across. The surgical leg is the one stepping behind. And what we're doing with this is we're exposing the joint to the same kind of stresses that you're going to have when you're playing pickleball. So first one is that lateral lunge. It's a slow, controlled motion. If you're not comfortable doing it on your own, absolutely do it with your physical therapist before you're discharged from physical therapy. Another version of this is what I call a deceleration or a step down. So if I'm going to face forward, one of the things that I want to be able to do is step and decelerate, control that motion, and then come on back. You can think of this as a lunge, but we're focused on the front leg. The front leg first will be the surgical leg. I like to try 3 positions for this. So first is straight forward and back, and I want to control that deceleration. Then I'll step out and back. I start to create this V. I know it's a little hard from your perspective to see it. And then I go across and back, but it's a forward motion across and back. And if I do it with my surgical leg, I do the same thing with my non-surgical leg, because the surgical leg is going to be my support leg, and I want to make sure that I can control the deceleration. Decelerating your body weight is an important component in any athletic activity. The next one that we're looking at is just basic strength, fundamental strength. And so while we don't typically have to do a deep squat on the pickleball court, we want to make sure that we kind of get down comfortably into that crouch position. And a lot of times what I try to have my clients do in the clinic before discharge is I want them to understand the relationship between the foot, the ankle, and the ground. Because what happens is you guys are watching me right now. You see me get into this crouch position. So I can move either side to side, front or back. But what I'm actually doing is when I go down, my feet can pull in so I can activate the inner thighs. I can activate the musculature that kind of, it's almost like if I was on ice, you would see my feet slide together, but because there's friction, they don't slide, they don't move. But I'm generating this tension on the inner thighs. I can do the same thing in the opposite direction. So when I go into this athletic stance, I can push out so that my lateral thighs are working, my gluteus, my glute medius, my glute min is working, my TFL, and everything is kind of engaged so that if I did need to step quickly, if I did need to go right or left, I'm already in a position that allows me to do that. And then, of course, finally, just basic balance. So every human should be able to stand on one leg, control the motion, eyes open, and then eventually you would close your eyes. We have some standards of about 20 to 30 seconds that we would want you to be able to maintain this position on the surgical leg, on the non-surgical leg. These are some fundamental core basic exercises that I believe you should be able to do in a controlled environment like a physical therapy clinic or like a home gym before you start to go out onto the pickleball court. So guys, if you have questions specifically about a sport, about an activity, whether you want to talk about golf, you want to talk about, I don't know, tennis, anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. I hope this video